We continue now at the top of Daf Yomi Mesechet Kesuvos. This is Kesuvos Daf 105b. The Gemara here continues. What does the pasuk mean when it says "Visalef divrei tzadikim," that the bribe will pervert the words of the righteous? It means afilu tzadik gomer, even if a person is a total tzadik, v'lokeach shochad, and he takes a bribe, eino nifter min ha'olam below tiruf das. He will not leave this world without a confusion of the mind. And the Gemara continues. Ki asa Rav Dimi Yomer, when Rav Dimi came, he said, Doresh Rav Nachman bar Kohen, that Rav Nachman bar Kohen darshan ma'idich siv. What does the pasuk mean when it says, this is a pasuk in Mishalei Melech b'mishpat yamid aretz v'ish cherumos yersen. It says the king, so then he'll be able to hold up the world with justice. But if it's an ish cherumos, so then yersen, then it's going to be destroyed. And the Gemara explains, if the judge is similar to a king, that he doesn't need anything, so then he'll be able to hold up the land. In other words, if you have a situation of somebody who's a judge who doesn't need anything, who doesn't take bribes, then that will be effective. But if he's like a Kohen, who is mechazar lagronos, who goes around at the granaries to get his gifts, and that's what it means in the pasuk, v'ish cherumos, referring to somebody like a Kohen who collects, who needs to take from people, yarsena, that will destroy it, meaning to say again, the bribery will destroy the justice. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabba bar Rav Shila, Rabba bar Rav Shila says, Hai dayona deshoil she'ilta pasal amaden. If you have a dayan, if you have a judge who's always borrowing things from people, so he's disqualified from judging, that's also considered to be like a bribe. L'meidan dina, he can't judge judgments. But we only say that when he himself doesn't have to lend out to others. But if he's lending out to others, if he's borrowing and lending, so then there's not really a problem. The Gemara continues, is this really true? But Rava borrowed something from the house of Bar Miriam, even though they did not borrow from him, so how could he judge their cases? And the Gemara says to that, there he was doing it, it actually made them chashuv, they felt important that they were able to lend things to Rava, so that was a different story. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rava says, Rava, my time of the shochta, what's the reason that bribery is a problem? Kevan de kabale shochta mine, because once a person accepts a bribe from somebody, once he takes a bribe from the other individual, ikravale daite legabe, so now his knowledge becomes close to the other person, he becomes like a karov, like a person close to him, v'have kegufe, it's almost like his own body, it's like this person is himself, ve'in adam roeh chovali atzma, a person can't see themselves as having a chiyav, as being obligated, and therefore that is the problem with taking a bribe. And the Gemara says, "My shochad." So what does it mean, shochad? What does that word come from? Shuchad. It means he's like one. He becomes like one with the person who gave him the bribe. And the Gemara continues, Amar Papa says, Lo lidon inish dino leman derachim le, velo leman desani le. A person should not judge a case not for somebody that he loves and not for somebody that he hates. Derachim le lo chazi le chova. If he's going to judge for somebody who's his friend, so then he won't be able to find the person guilty. Desani le, and if he hates the person, lo chazi le zachusa, then he's not going to be able to find the person innocent. Amar Abaya says, let's say you have a Talmud Chacham, and the people of the city like him. It's not because he's good. It's simply because he doesn't rebuke them in matters concerning heaven. He's not rebuking them properly. That's why they like him. Amar Rava said, originally I thought that all the people of Mechuzah, they all like me. So once I became a judge, so then I said, some of them hate me and some of them like me. But once I saw that the person that I made chayev today, so tomorrow I might make him innocent, so then I said, if they like me, they're all going to like me. And if they hate me, they're all going to hate me. They're not going to make distinctions because the judgments can always change according to what is the correct judgment. And the Gemara continues, Tanu Rabbanon, the rabbis taught, V'shochad lo sikach, it says you can't take a bribe. Eino tzarech lomar shochad mammon. It doesn't even need to say that you can't take money as a bribe. Ela afilu shochad devarim nami asr. Even if you take a bribe of words, that is also asr. Midloch siv betza lo sikach, because it doesn't use the language of betza, which would imply money. Even if you take a bribe that's not money, it can be problematic. And the Gemara continues, Heichi dami shochad devarim. What's an example of taking a bribe that is words? Ki hada Shmuel. It's like what happened with Shmuel. Havaver b'mavra. He was at a river crossing. Asa gavra yoiv le'yadin. A certain person came and he gave him his hand. He gave him some assistance. Amar lei said to him, Ma'avidatach, what are you doing over here? Amar lei said to him, Dino isli. So I have a court case. Amar lei. So Shmuel said to him, Psil nalach ledina. Now I'm disqualified from being your judge because even the giving of your hand, that is considered like a bribe. And the Gemara continues, Amemar have a Yosef v'kadoyin Adina. Amemar was sitting, he was judging a case. Parach gadva reishe, and so then a feather floated onto his head. Also, Gavra Shakli, a certain person came along and he took it off his head. Amar Lei said to him, what are you doing here? Amar Lei said to him, Dino Isli, I have a court case here. Amar Lei said to him, Pasilna Lach Ledina, since you did me this favor, I am disqualified to be your judge. Marukva haveshadi ruka kamein, but Marukva, so there was some spittle that was in front of him. Also, Gavra Kasin, a certain person came and covered it up. Amar Lei said to Mayaviditach, what are you doing over here? Amar Lei said, Dino Isli, I have a court case. Amar Lei, so again he said to him, Psilna Lach Ledina, since you did me this favor, so I am disqualified to be your judge. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi have a rugal arisei to have a maisi lei kol male shavsa kansa depiri. Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi, so every Friday his oris, his sharecropper, would bring him a basket of fruits. Yom achad aisi lei beheva shavsa. One time he brought it to him on Thursday. Amar Lei said to him, what's the difference that now you're bringing it on Thursday instead of Friday? Amar Lei said to him, Dino Isli, said I have a court case with you anyway, so I figured, V'amina, I said, Agavurchi aisi lei lamar, since I'm coming anyway, I'll bring it to the master. So lo kavel minei, so Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi didn't accept the fruit from him. Amar Lei, he said to him, Psilna lach ledina, now I'm disqualified to be your judge, because it's like a bribe. So Oziv Zuzah derabonon v'kadaininon lei, so he had a pair of scholars, and instead they acted as the judges. Now, as the case was going on, so Amar, so Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi kept saying to himself, if this guy wants, he could claim this and win. If he wants, he could claim that and win. In other words, the bribe was affecting him, even though he was not a judge in the case. He was trying to find this person's case favorable. So Amar, so he said, Tipach nafsham shal makavle shochad. He said, blessed are the souls of those who accept bribes. Umani, if by me, shalom natalti, that I didn't even take the bribe. Vim natalti, and even had I took it, shalim natalti, I was really taking what was mine. This is just my sharecropper. So kach, yet this is what happens to me, that I'm influenced. So makavle shochad alachas kama v'kama. So certainly people who are actually accepting a bribe, certainly they will be influenced. And the Gemara continues at the two dots, Rabbi Yishmael bar Elisha, Aisilehu Gavra Reishis Hagez. Rabbi Yishmael bar Elisha, so a certain person brought him the first of the shearings, which is one of the gifts for the Kohanim. So Amar Lei said to me, Heichlat, so where are you from? Amar Lei said, Miduch Plan, I'm from such and such a place. And the Gemara continues, Mehasam lahacha lahav a kohen lamesveleis. Rabbi Yishmael bar Elisha said, from there to here there was no kohen you could give it to. Amar Lei said back to him, Dino Yisli, I have a court case, V'amina, so I said to myself, Agav orchoy, I see Lamar, since I'm already coming, I'll just bring it to the master, I know that you're a kohen. Amar Lei said to him, Psil noch ledina, he said, now I'm disqualified to be your judge. Lo kavel mine, so he didn't accept it from him. Osiv lei zuga de rabbanan, v'kadaini lei, so then he set up a pair of rabbanan, and they were the judges. Bahade de kazel v'asi, as the case was going on, Amar, he said, he boy toyin hachi, if he wanted, he could claim this, if he wanted, he could claim that. Amar, so he said the same thing as before, Tipach nafsham shal makavle shochad. Blessed should be the souls of those who accept bribes. Umani shalom natalti, if by me I didn't even take it. V'im natalti shalin natalti, and if I did take it, it was really mine. It was a gift to the kahuna. Kach, yet this is what happened. I was influenced. So makavle shochad alachas kama v'kama. Certainly those who accept the bribe, they will be influenced. And the Gemara continues at the two dots. Ravanon aisi le'ahu gavra kansa de gildoni de vegile. Ravanan, so a certain person brought him a basket of small fish. Amar Lei said to him, what are you doing here? Amar Lei said to him, Dino Isli, so he said, I have a court case. So lo kavel mine, so then he didn't accept it, because again, it would have been like taking a bribe, and Ravanan was the judge. Amar Lei, so Ravanan said to him, Psil nalach ledina, you've disqualified me from being the judge in your case. Amar Lei said to him, Dina demar lo ba'ina. He says, I don't really need the judgment of the master. Kibule lekavel mar, but I want the master to accept what I'm giving. De lo limnon mar me'akruvi bikurim. The master shouldn't prevent me from giving bikurim. The Tanya, as we learned in a brayso, so v'ish ba mi bal shalisha v'yavo l'isha elokim lechem bikurim esrem lechem saorim v'karmel b'tziklono. So it says that this person brought to the isha elokim, he brought bikurim, and the isha elokim here was Elisha. And so the Gemara says v'chi Elisha ochel bikurim hava. Was Elisha going to be eating bikurim? Elisha was not a kohen. Elalomar, rather, what the pasuk really means to say is, Elalomar lach, it's to tell you, Kalamevi doron l'talmid chacham, anyone who brings a gift to a talmid chacham, ki'ilu makra bikurim, it's as if he brought bikurim. And so therefore he said, I want you to accept the gift because it's like bikurim. Amar Lei, so Ravanan said to him, Kibule lo ba'ina di kavel, I don't really want to accept it. But hashta damar li taima mikabelna, but now that you're telling me this reason, so I will accept it. So Shadrei L'Kamei de Rav Nachman. In any case, the Gemara says Ravanan sent the man in front of Rav Nachman in order that Rav Nachman should judge the case. So Shalach Lei Nidai Mar L'Hai Gavra. So he sent him a letter and said the master should judge this case. The Anon, because myself Anan Pesil Neleiladin, I'm disqualified from being the judge. So Amar, so then Rav Nachman said to himself, "Me the shalach li, from the fact that he's sending this message to me, hachi in this manner, shma mina karivehu. It must be this individual is the relative of Rav Anan. That's why he's disqualified. So havekoyim dina diyasmek hameh. At this time, there was also a court case involving orphans in front of Rav Nachman. So Amar, so Rav Nachman said to himself, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Kuvov Amud Aleph.